Why is it that amongst Muslims there are some shuyukh that are more lenient than others?
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. I think it's one of those questions which is actually coming from very genuine person who is quite concerned for the religion. I mean, for her own or for his own, you can say religion. Because you want to end up in paradise. You want to live this life as you supposed to be. Okay, as you are created for some purpose by God, and you are concerned to hit exactly the same goal for which God created you.
Yeah, and
not to be sorry.
For some people, when we get a question like this, sometimes people ask it in a mocking way, but then there's also others that are asking it in a genuine way, where they are just confused. They just want to know.
Yeah. So actually, I do take it on the noble way. I think that the question is coming from a very noble person who is actually looking to find the truth, because confused. Okay, some people are showing that Islam is so difficult. Hand have to be chopped off, head have to be chopped off. Okay, how many reasons? In one of the books, only one book, okay, of one author, we have over 230 reasons for this head to be chopped off, compulsory. Not recommended, but compulsory. Okay, it's only one book of one author, but the same author is very well known of writing over 200 books. Okay, and that type of authors we had thousands. Okay, so that is from one side. Okay, but from the other side, these scholars come, they give totally different interpretation to Islam. When everyone says Islam means practicing, doing physically 5 things, another group of people, scholars come saying it's not about doing, but Islam is about relationship between you and God, based on actually something which is inner. But what about practical thing that comes as a consequence?
That's a manifestation of something.
Exactly,
that's
it's expression, physical expression. Okay, or physical, you can say rituals.
And what's happening on the inside, the internal aspect, is that the most significant?
That is the most important thing. That is the most important thing.
That's what has the most impact on a person's life.
Or another thing, if you take off the internal thing, that is called hypocrisy, hypocrite. So inside is empty from Islam, but outside doing a lot of practicing. That is hypocrite, isn't it? But what about if you switch off, take off all of them practical things, but inside is nice? We call them disobedient, believer, disobedient.
Sometimes people are pushed into that route when they're being forced
Yes.
to act in a particular way. They never chose it, but then people are forced them to doing it for their own safety.
Exactly. You know, in here, to answer this question, I recommend, sincerely, I recommend everyone who is concerned to find an answer to this dilemma to look into the biographies of the scholars who presented Islam. It is 2 category. It is 2 category. Okay? Because, so I will just present both of them. From one side, it is ascetic. I'm not going to mention the names of these scholars because they're very highly respected. Okay, so it is a scholar who never married, okay, and who never had any sexual, you can say, intercourse, nor halal nor haram, as well as used to live in only one room of the madrasa. If you read his biography, his students are proud that this scholar never knew how to go to the market, but only from his house to the mosque and back. Do you understand? Okay, so, and also never married, so never had kids.
So it's a very insular existence.
It is just, so now I really request, I really wish if we would have professional psychologists to diagnose this person. The person who never got engaged into the society, no shopping, no marketing, okay, does not get into the celebrations, you know, of the city citizens and their sorrows. He never anticipates that. he never participates that, okay? Not married, doesn't have kids, okay? He never was engaged into the labor working, making money, you know, working, okay? So what is going to be the psychology of this person? Obviously, I'm a philosopher. I studied philosophy in Azhar University, so psychology is also included into that. I say big list of possible psychological deficiencies and defects and illnesses will be expected from this person. Am I right? Time to time, it could be also schizophrenia also. It may go that far. Because ego, personality will be crushed just into the pieces. Understand? Okay? And also it causes some type of anger towards the society. Because, do you know, for example, marriage and having sex, it is in our nature. So, for example, if you haven't been given food and eating is in our nature, how do you feel?
Yeah, being deprived. And we can see that with, psychologists can see that with people who have been deprived of some things in their childhood.
Exactly,
whether it's, you know, not financial, but, you know, from their parents, from their upbringing.
Yeah, so in here, you can, so that is the personality who is presenting Islam according to his own understanding. So that is one personality. And because I do normally quote my own madhab, which is Hanafi, so now take the biography of the founder of the school of thought that I follow, Abu Hanifa, this guy. Who is he? It is very, you can say, glorious merchant. Okay, so they say that only his sadaqah charity used to reach within 1 year to 40,000 golden coins. So it is multimillionaire guy. He used to have his own shop in the market, both of Baghdad and Kufa. Living in Baghdad in that time would mean in our time living in London, maybe, very expensive city. Having shop there where you will be trading means you are multimillionaire. And he used to go and sit there physically and buying and selling. And more than that, he had wife and he had kids. Understand? And more than that, he used to travel because of trading as well as because of studying and because of pilgrimage. Okay? And he used to maintain not only students of knowledge, but even scholars. Okay? So it is the person who is deeply engaged into the society. Understand? And also, as a consequence to his mentality, one of his students, called Imam Muhammad, he says, it is not permissible for the scholar to give fatwa if he does not have an idea of what is happening in the market, in his local market. Do you understand? Means staying inside of the society, okay, and he can relate the Quranic statements with reality, but not as that ascetic with list of psychological deficiencies and defects who is living in illusion and relating the compulsions and prohibitions of Quran and Sunnah with that illusion world which he created in his mind. Do you understand? Okay, so now my presentation to you. Them are two category of scholars. Now, my question to you. Do you think that Islam which is presented by this merchant who had kids, who had grandsons, okay, who was with his mother living inside of the people, do you think that his presentation of Islam will match 100% as two palms match each other like this? Will that match with the presentation of Islam of this ascetic? What do you think? Never. Never. That person, his religion is going to be so grey, so tight, because he does not understand. For example, God talks about some certain psychological problem and treatment in Quran.
I mean, obviously different shiukhs still come with their own experiences,
exactly.
Their own
because Islam, what I'm expressing, it is not what, I'm not God. So I'm not expressing Islam as God, but it is my understanding of Islam. And what is my understanding? My understanding is, it is some set of principles which I did gain through my experience, life experience and academical experiences. So if some part will be missing, so my understanding will not be perfect. You understand? So there were actually reason lies. Question is why some shuyukh are so lenient and some are very strict. I say it's based on their sources. So there are two categories of scholars. Some lived inside of the society. They expressed their Islam, and some were ascetics. They expressed their Islam.